It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. We're back live on the Big Mountain.
Hey, welcome back to another Wednesday night on the Big Mountain. And we have lots of picks to do tonight, Steve. We are going to bust through, what do we got? 22 bowl games and 4 CFP games. So 26 picks tonight.
I'm ready to rock. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I've been preparing for this my whole life.
That's fantastic. I've had one hell of a day at work, and I'm drinking a beer. This is the first time I've had a Dweller brew in a little while on the Big Mountain.
Nothing wrong with that.
Let me wet my whistle.
It's the season to make merry, so let's do it.
I also have, Steve, I didn't show this to our Dwellers yet, my Josh Allen bobblehead, Wyoming bobblehead, for his jersey retirement.
Very
First and only jersey that's been retired in Wyoming history.
Wow.
Number 17, Josh Allen, and he had a commemorative bobblehead. And of course, as soon as I saw it, I went, order.
Click. Yeah.
Yeah, so there it is. I've had it for a little while. I forgot to put it on the channel here recently.
It took a true superstar for them to retire a jersey.
That's right. I got my Wyoming shirt on. I've got my Josh Allen bobblehead. And we shall not be picking Wyoming in a bowl game because they're not good enough to make a bowl. All right, with that, we're going to start with the CFP games.
Okay.
Then we'll get to just the regular bowl games.
All
and
right.
before we get too far ahead, I want to remind everybody, or tell everybody, we'll remind you later, we're not going to be doing a live show next week.
Yep, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, family time. Yeah, so no live show next week. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Or whatever it is you're going to be doing next week. Shout out to the Dwellers here. We've got Jonathan, we got Tyler, J.E.H., Moses, Big Mama, Steve, Las Vegas Larry, Lobo Wes, Rumblings. I hope I didn't miss one. We got a bunch of people. They're excited. They're ready to go. And of course, Las Vegas Larry, always giving us the happy hump day.
Yeah.
He never misses. He never misses. And Tyler... apologizing for missing some of our streams recently. There's no need to apologize. Life gets in the way all the time. And, jobs are important. Family's more important. And we're just here for fun. So when you can make it, great. And if you can, it's all good.
He's a Bison fan, right?
He's a Bison fan.
And, he may have had a little bit of just avoiding college football in general, unfortunately, with the way they got knocked out of the playoffs.
Unfortunately. Well, I have Hickory Doc is here from Rapid City. Good to have him. Lobo West is asking if we want a Lobo Louie bobblehead. Well, hell yeah, I want a bobblehead. Maybe the next shtick, instead of our beer cans, we can have a bobblehead.
Maybe someone can get us a Hey Reb bobblehead.
Oh, those suckers are probably hard to get these days since he's been banned. But anyway, so with that, I feel like you were going to say something else.
I was just saying, the bad thing is we won't be on next week.
Yes.
The good thing is we got all these games to pick this week.
Mm-hmm. With that, Brawl 2.0 is this Saturday. Rumblings reminding everyone. And I did an episode, Steve, for the FCS semifinals.
Okay.
It'll drop tomorrow. And I picked the games. The Super Brawl. That's what I saw somebody call it.
Ooh.
Not just the Brawl 2.0, but the Super Brawl. I'm like, that's a great name for this game.
And remind everybody who doesn't follow FCS, maybe.
Yes, that's Montana State.
Ooh.
The Brawl of the Wild. And I saw someone name it the Super Brawl. And I went, that's perfect. I'm going to use that for forever.
Love it.
First time they're matching up in the FCS playoffs.
I heard
Kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, that's kind of
For
crazy.
as good as they've been, they just have never met in the playoffs.
I think this was the year for it.
All right, well, let's get to the CFP. Let me do a quick hook, because I do want to chop this into another segment.
Yeah.
So we'll do a quick hook, and I'll let you start them.
All right, let's
All right? All right, Big Mountains here to pick every college football round 1 game, Steve. 4 of them here for this weekend. I'm going to let you go first. Which game are we starting with?
Yeah, so let's start with Friday night. Okay. This is probably your least favorite game, I'm going to guess, but should be probably a really good defensive, low-scoring game. And we've got Alabama visiting Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. This is a rematch. Earlier in the season, Oklahoma was able to knock Bama off when Bama looked like they had some good momentum going.
Right.
So for the second year in a row, Oklahoma knocks them off. this is a big time rematch. Two very powerful SEC teams. The line is, what is it? 2.5 or no, 1.5 right now.
Yeah, very close. 1.5.
Yeah. So for me, I think with Oklahoma, great defense. They've struggled to find offense early in the season. They had Jonathan Mateer, that we love. He started out hot. I think he broke his hand. And then when he came back, a little while, it looked like maybe he just wasn't quite the same yet. Mm-hmm. And it really also kind of appeared that maybe they were trying to save him a little bit, not put his body at risk too much. Yeah. So that's the big question to me is he going to run the ball? Is he going to put his body at risk? I don't know that he's going to be able to do enough right now like he was early in the season. Mm-hmm. I think Alabama gets back on track. I think, they took that little whooping to Georgia. I think they have the better players. And unfortunately, and I really like Mateer, I think they have the better quarterback as far as throwing the ball and getting the ball to their weapons. So I'm going with Alabama to cover the 1.5 points.
Okay, well, toss up. Probably a close game. The first game was a close game back in mid-November. Yep. That was a 23-21 game, so pretty safe. Vegas going 1.5 on this game. And, Steve, I'm going to put my money on the guy you just mentioned. He's had some injury issues, but I watched him a lot last year at Washington State. He's had a great season, had some injury, obviously some issues, but it's now or never. It's win or shut up, win or go home. Yeah. And I'm going to put my money on John Mateer. I hear what you're saying with Alabama, but Oklahoma's already been able to beat Bama once this year, and I'm a Mateer fan. I'm picking them because of John Mateer. I like John Mateer. And Oklahoma's had a fantastic season here this year.
Yeah.
Coin flippy, at 1.5, anybody's game. And, first picks, we're going to disagree. You're taking Bama. I'm taking Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. And honestly, I think Mateer is the key to the game. If we can get that Mateer we saw last year and even early in the season before he was injured, he can be that wild card that can get enough points for Oklahoma. If not, if he's just kind of a guy, I don't think they can beat Alabama. So I don't blame you for going that way. And you're putting this game on Mateer's shoulders, and I don't blame you.
Well, there you have it. If you guys like John Mateer, if you think he's going to be able to perform, maybe that's the way you want to go with your bet. If you're questioning it, as you've been saying, you maybe want to go Alabama. So, kind of might ride on the quarterback there for Oklahoma. Okay, Steve, we've got Texas A&M versus Miami. I'll take this one first, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for
it. The line is 3.5. Miami, of course, has lost to Louisville and SMU. Louisville. So I got to say it right.
Louisville.
Thank you. Yeah. And SMU this year. A&M has only lost to Texas. That just happening. And I think Texas A&M is just a more complete team. They've got tons of talent. At -3.5, they're playing harder competition than what Miami had to play. And Miami kind of squeaking into the playoffs. I don't want to rehash all of that. We talked about that last week. But I'm going to go Texas A&M -3.5. I think they've got it put together a lot more. I like this team. I think they're built for this postseason. So I'm going to take them at -3.5.
Yeah, so I'm also taking Texas A&M to cover 3.5 points, mostly just because it comes down to as simple as this. I think Texas A&M is just a better overall team.
Right.
Now, Miami did have some players that were kind of hurt, and they've started to come back. And so there could be a situation to get enough players hurt. Enough injured players back.
Right.
And if they're playing at the very tip-top shape that they can, they could upset this game, upset A&M. It is still a cllose line, 3.5, just over the field goal. Mm-hmm. So I expect it to be a close game. I'm going with A&M as well because I just think they're the better team. Yeah. But I think people need to be careful just because of that Miami team coming back. And I will say, it's ironic because these, the big controversy was Notre Dame not getting into the CFP this year.
Right.
And these were the two teams that Notre Dame lost to early in the season.
Right.
And now they're playing each other.
Yes.
So that's very interesting to me as well. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that game.
All right. Well, let's get to the third of 4 CFP games. We've got Tulane, one of the two group of 5 teams playing Ole Miss, and this is a rematch. They played earlier this year, Steve.
Yes, yeah. And the first one wasn't very close. No. Ole Miss kind of had their way. I think it was like 31-3 maybe or something in that range.
It was 45-10.
Okay, all right.
So, the spread was similar.
Yeah. I think after 31-3 I stopped paying attention. Okay. So, it wasn't close. Ole Miss just handled them.
Yeah.
They were the better team. They were and they were clicking all cylinders at that point. So that it was a big point spread. Now coming into this game, the point spread is 17.5, so not anywhere near in that, but still a high point spread for a CFP game, but not anywhere near what happened before. I'm actually going to take Tulane plus the 17.5. I think Ole Miss will win this game, and I don't know that they'll struggle to win the game, but I think when people see the score, they're going to be surprised. It's going to be a closer game. I like Tulane plus all of those points. Now, both teams are losing their coach and moving forward but I just feel like there's a little bit more turmoil at Ole Miss. With the way their coach left, they got some coaches to come back. Their offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss Jr. But just everything that's going on there, I think it'll cause more turmoil, which has already caused turmoil, which I think will cause maybe some mistakes for this to be a close game early, and then Ole Miss to kind of have to close it out. But I just like Tulane with those points. I think they have more to fight for. I think they feel better about the situation. The players and coaches and everything that's going on. So maybe I'm just taking a flyer, but I like Tulane plus the 17.5 points.
Well, certainly when you look at that spread versus the game back in September, now that's been quite a while.
Yep.
But the spread that Ole Miss won by was 35 points. So this is half of what that previous game was. It may give some people kind of some questions on, wow, this is maybe a lower spread than what they would expect it to be. I hear what you're saying with Ole Miss. And I like this Tulane team. I like what they've done all season. You loved them the whole entire season.
Except for the week after they lost to UAB.
They weren't the ones that lost to UAB. I think that was Memphis. I don't know, somebody else. But they did lose to UTSA here fairly recently. Yep. And I'm going to go Ole Miss. I just think they're stacked. That coaching thing definitely gives me pause. But I mean, they rolled through this Tulane team, this Green Wave team. 3 months ago. They've got the talent to do it again. I'm not sure. I think maybe that coaching issues will probably come up again in the CFP.
Yep.
I'm not sure that happens and is really a factor in this game. So I'm going to take Ole Miss minus 17.5. Just too low of a line. I think if this was into the 20s, then I'd be more comfortable taking Tulane with the points. But being down around 17, 18 points, I like Ole Miss here to win by probably 3 touchdowns. So that's why I'm going to take them. So we agree on one, we disagree on two. Let's hit the last one here. It is JMU traveling to Oregon and Autzen Stadium. I'm going to say it before you say it. But you knew that was coming. 21.5 points is the spread. This is an Oregon team that can score a ton of points. But I wouldn't say I've seen them do that this season like I thought I was going to see them do that. Like, in terms of just blowing teams out week over week over week. Yes, they've done it. They've had blowout wins. But maybe not as consistently, and that's pretty hard to be, like, busting on a team because they haven't blown teams out like I thought they were going to. But 21.5 points is a lot of points. And I know it's JMU going up to Autzen. I mean, can the Ducks cover this spread? Oh, yeah. They can cover the spread. If they want to, they can do it. But there's so many points in this game. I'm actually going to take the points with JMU here and the Dukes. I mean, this could end up being 50-14, and that wouldn't surprise me. But as a pick, I like getting this many points in this playoff game. JMU's they're gonna go all out, of course. I mean, all these teams will, but I think them more than any. These G5 teams want to prove something. Yep. And I think if they can have a good start to this, they can keep it within that 3 touchdown spread. So that's where I'm going, Steve.
We've talked about Oregon a lot the last 2 years as far as, like, if they want to score points and put their foot down, they can. They can score 100 in a game if they wanted to, if they really wanted to push it. And so I'm with you. I'm taking Tulane plus the 17.5 points for a slightly different reason.
Okay.
Oregon has been fighting tons and tons and tons of injuries as they've gone down, throughout the season. I think they get out. I think both teams play well at the start, but towards the end of the first half and maybe into the beginning of that third quarter, just the more size and more talent of Oregon just starts to wear away. They build a little bit of a lead, maybe a 3-4 score lead, okay? But then I think they're going to rest a lot of players. I think they're going to take a lot of players out. and just try to get healthy because whoever they play next is going to be a darn good team.
Sure.
That had a bye, coming in, one of the top 4 teams. So, I think, and I think JMU is going to be very motivated to, just look respectable.
Yeah.
Just show
cover
that
the
they
spread.
Yeah, cover the spread. Show that they. So I see them keeping their starters in all the way to the end, fighting, and Oregon doing everything they can to rest their starters as much as possible because of all those injuries. And so I love getting James Madison plus 21.5. I'd love it more if it was 27.5 or whatever. But getting over 20 points.
Yeah.
I think these games are going to be closer. Especially because some of the higher ranked teams have injuries that they're trying to come back from. So I'm taking JMU plus the 21.5.
Well, you talk about that some in your picks where, you think, okay, the spread's going to be pretty big. But especially as we're now into the college football playoff, if these teams that have higher aspirations, they don't just want to win the game, they want to be prepared for week 2 as well. Not that they're looking over week 1, but they, if they can rest guys, get them healthier, they're going to be doing that. Absolutely. So that's kind of the angle or the reason you're making that pick maybe more than most.
100%.
All right, well, there are our picks for the first round of the college football playoffs. We will pick all of the college football playoffs here on the Big Mountain, so make sure you check back next week when we do the next round. With that, hey, thank you guys for watching this episode. All right, guys, just had to do that because I'm going to clip this one.
Yeah.
So that was awkward, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but now we get all these bowl games.
Now it's time to go to the bowl games. Now it's fun time.
We did have some people checking in. I think Steven.
I saw Steven. Yeah.
Big Mama's still here. Oh, and that college football guy Bill chimed in. I think he agreed with me a couple and disagreed. But I have a question for Bill. How'd I do on that? He lives in Tennessee now. He's from that part of the country. So, Bill, how'd I do on that Louisville pronunciation? Let me know.
Yes, and maybe we can hear more from Steven about Ohio because we're going to be picking that game here in just a little bit. Yeah. So we'll maybe hold off on that. I see Killer Demo saying USF fell off a cliff. Wow. I was just saying that to Steve before we went live because that game was on. We were watching it, and I'm like, this offense can't do jack.
And honestly, and they felt like that. Like, there was different parts of the season. They were really talented. We talked about them before, where they'd have up and downs throughout the season. Yeah. And this just obviously is with everything that's going on, this is their bigger downer.
Well, Bill says he did a very good job with Louisville. All right, let's get to our bowls. The first one that we're going to pick right now. So the ones that are, I believe, tomorrow, we've already picked. If I remember that correctly. I think they're tomorrow.
So. Yeah, tonight.
Anywho, the first one we're picking tonight is the Myrtle Beach Bowl. That is Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan. This is champ versus champ.
Love it.
MAC versus Conference USA, Steve.
Yep.
I'm going to let you go first, and we'll just go back and forth.
I doubted Western Michigan all year. I doubted them coming into the championship game, and you beat me on that one. So I'm going with Western Michigan, and for them to cover the 3.5 points.
3.5, yeah.
And I'm not doubting them again this season. They're going to close it out and continue to kick some butt. So Western Michigan minus 3.5.
I'm with you. I'm taking Western Michigan. They've had a really nice year. When you look at some of their losses, I mean, their losses were to North Texas by, I think, 3, if I remember correctly. It was like 33-30. I mean, they scored with North Texas, one of the best offenses in the G5. They lost to, I think it was Michigan State, Miami of Ohio, who they came back and beat in the MAC championship game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, props to Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
Great story this year. Turnaround from last year, the Conference USA champion. I think Western Michigan's just the better team across the board. And I'm with you. I'm taking Western Michigan minus 3.5.
There's 2 other reasons why I should not have doubted Western Michigan. I don't know if you know this.
I don't know. I'm ready. You're going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. So first of all, look at their logo. Like
that's a show.
Yeah, that's
their logo is
logo
similar to the team that I root for, the brown and gold. Yes, but anyway,
they're like the Wyoming of the MAC.
It is. They're the Wyoming of the Midwest. Whatever you want to call that. I was going to say East, but they're not so much East.
The other reason is, and I believe I have this right, if I remember correctly, they won the hockey NCAA championship this last year.
Yes.
So,
good point.
I mean, those guys don't mess around, so I should not have doubted them. I'm not going to doubt them this week.
Okay, well, there you have it. I'm going to get to the Gasparilla Bowl. Memphis versus North Carolina State. I found this one tough. The line was 4.5. NC State kind of up and down. Memphis, up and down too. Both teams, like, who the heck is going to show up and play in this game? I'm going to take the points with Memphis. I don't really know why. I don't really trust them based on some of the losses that they've had. But I don't know. I guess I'll chalk it up to I'm a G5 guy, so I'm taking the G5 team.
I look at Memphis a lot like, when I look at them kind of similar to USF. They were kind of up and down at different times this year. Good. I mean, they were competing,
sure, right,
but had some like weird just down games or whatever. North Carolina State, they're very just generally consistent. They've had the same coach for a while and all that stuff. So that was basically my little coin flip. And so I'm going with North Carolina State minus the 4.5.
Consistency, wins it out for you.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. All right, so Mike the Michael's in the house. Good to have you here, Sor. He says tough one. I agree, but he's going to take NC State. Steven likes Memphis over NC State. And shout out to Sergeant Morhew, one of our members, using the wonderful Mountain West logo as his.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, as his. I don't know. There's a name for those. I don't know what they are. Maybe
whether it's emoji.
It's like a member-only emoji.
Yeah.
Member-only pin.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like it.
Sticker. I don't know. Anyway. All right, Steve, you're up. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
Yeah, so this is Washington State taking on Utah State, correct?
It is.
Yeah, and I'm going with Washington State plus the 2.5. I know Utah State was one of your teams you really enjoyed watching this year. They maybe didn't hit like the potential that they wanted to, but had a pretty good season. They were competitive there for a while.
Yeah.
And I was really down on the Cougs this year until one time you pointed out to me, like, dude, why are you down so hard on them? They beat some good teams.
I think you had them as 32nd out of 33 teams in our rankings at one point.
Sometimes I just, in my mind, the Beavs and the Cougs they stick together because that's what they do. They stick together. So I reevaluated them after you called me out on that. And I look back at their season. I like how their season went. I like where they're going, their trajectory. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Washington State plus 2.5. I do. Utah State, I like that team. I like the quarterback. This is, to me, is a coin flip game. So I'm going with the Cougs. And I think I'm getting points, right? 2.5?
You are getting points.
So I love it. I'll take it.
Okay. You know what's interesting about this? They have a mascot. You can see him on the screen there.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a potato. I think he looks like maybe some other things.
I was going to say a thumb.
Okay, I will go with thumb.
I love these slides, by the way.
Well, he's skiing. I mean, it's a cool little shtick they got going. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, he's just an interesting mascot. With that said, you're not going to be surprised because Bryson Barnes is playing in this game.
Awesome.
And I am a Bryson Barnes fan. Dang it! And so I'm going to take Utah State minus 2.5 because Bryson Barnes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say his top wide receiver. Pagan is not playing in this game. It's one of those things. I mean, I could spend 48 hours trying to figure out who is and who isn't. Yes. I look at starting quarterbacks and I feel like, okay, are they going to play or are they not going to play? Yep. They say Bryson is, Pagan's not. But frankly, the offense runs through Bryson anyway. Yeah. So give me Bryson Barnes in the Aggies and Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah, that's a good. Steven also got a chuckle out of that Potato Bowl poster.
Mike the Michael is more on the line of where I am with what that looks like.
Okay.
The Rocky Mountain Oyster. Just sticking out there. All happy. Thumb. Okay. All right, Steve-O. Okay. I did Idaho, so you're at the Boca Raton Bowl.
Been to Boca Raton.
Have you?
Yeah, I was there in the Navy. It was a very nice place to hang out. Toledo versus Louisville. I'm taking Louisville minus 6.5. I just think they're the better team. I don't want to get Steven mad at me, talking a smack towards a MAC team. But Louisville, they had a good season for a while. Was going good. They were actually up until the last couple weeks of the season were prospective CFP team.
Yeah.
They had some problems at the end of the season, like with their quarterback and some other situations. Yeah. But I just think Louisville has a good roster. They have a good coach. So yeah, I'm taking Louisville to cover the 6.5, and I think they win this game by like double digits going away.
I'm with you. I think they have the much better team here. Toledo was just not as impressive as I kind of thought they were going to be this year. struggled a little bit more. And Louisville, as you said, I mean, they were ranked in the top 25 throughout the season. They have a good, solid team. I think this is, I mean, of the games we've had so far, Steve, this is the biggest, for me, the biggest mismatch that we've picked. And I'm taking Louisville minus 6.5.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm surprised at the spread. I thought it would be like closer to 10, either like just 9.5, 10.5, something like that.
All right, well, Tyler, he likes Toledo. He has them at 8.5, but I don't know, man. That's tough.
Real quick, JEH mentioned that Aiden Childs is going to the transfer portal. Yes, he is. He did not work out, did not develop at Michigan State at all. They, now have a new coach. Everyone's kind of moving on, and we're in like the second rebuild in 3 years for Michigan State.
Right. Yeah. All right. New Orleans Bowl. We've got Western Kentucky versus Southern Mississippi. Mm-hmm. This one was actually kind of difficult for me, even though the line's 5.5. I struggled making this pick. I like Western Kentucky. They're a good team. Southern Miss had a good season. They lost in their championship game. So I kind of just went with like taking the points because I don't know. I don't follow these teams super close. I like them both. They both had good years. So I'm going to take Southern Miss at plus 5.5. I don't have any great reason for it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It does not surprise me. I'm going the other way, and I'm taking Western Kentucky to cover the 5.5. It's a little more points than I'm comfortable with, honestly, because I think this is closer to a toss-up game. But I do think Western Kentucky is probably the better team. So I'm going on a limb, taking them to cover 5.5. And you know what? I think they probably win by a touchdown, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll get into the Frisco Bowl. I'll let you go first. Steven, let us know what you if you know anything more about your coach being fired there. I know it's one of those kind of sticky if situations, being fired for cause and all that kind of jazz. But let's make the pick, then maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah. Frisco Bowl. I like this matchup. UNLV versus Ohio. I probably would have liked it better before Ohio lost their coach on like the eve of the within a week of the game.
Yeah.
But I love this season that UNLV had. There was so much angst early in the season among UNLV Rebel fans. The defense was playing so poorly, and they end up losing to Boise twice this year again. And honestly, I think they ended up where they should have ended up. Good solid season, first season for Dan Mullen, a good season to build on. To me, the sky is the limit for this team moving forward.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be incredibly motivated to get a bowl win here as kind of that leaping into the next season.
Yep.
Their quarterback is coming back, so I'm assuming he's going to play in this game. Why wouldn't he? So the line is UNLV minus 5.5. I'm going to take that all day and twice on Sunday. If I was locking any, this would be a lock. I think they win by 2 touchdowns plus. Not only because I think they're a much more talented team than Ohio right now, but then also you have this last-minute turmoil for the Bobcats, where you have basically what's starting now as consistency for UNLV, where it looks like they're going to come back intact next year. So I love UNLV in this game. I love the Rebs. I think they'll win by 14 to 21 points, somewhere in there.
I'm with you. I'm taking UNLV 5.5. You said 5.5 or 6.5?
I think we're at 6.5.
6.5. Yes, 6.5. UNLV. Sorry, Steven. I know you're a Bobcat fan, but yes, Calandria is coming back. He's like, well, I don't got any place to go. Yeah. I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah.
Jet Thomas is coming back. He's going to play. I'm with you. This is just, they want to get that bad taste of the Mountain West Championship game out of their mouth. They want to go get a bowl win in the Frisco Bowl. They want to already start building, with consistency in the coaching staff, build for next year and push for, I think, a CFP spot. I mean, that's got to be their goal right now for next season, given what they could do on offense. They got some defensive things to straighten up. But I think they roll here, too. I'm with you, UNLV, all day, every day, and twice on game day.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout-out. We have a dweller here from Ireland.
Ooh.
I think that says D. Buffin. Bufflin? I can't quite read it. See, we have that zoomed out, and I'm getting so damn old I still can't read.
Yeah.
But anyway, always enjoys the show from Ireland. That's fantastic. Lads, of course. Lads. Not agreeing with some of our picks, and of course he's laughing. But, that's why we do our picks. And so far, Steve, you and I, for bowls, we agree on 3 and we disagree on 3.
You know, when we were at Mountain West Media Days this year, a lot of people came up to us and said, "Oh, those are the guys from the Big Mountain." Well, now we got to be known by something else. We're the lads from the Big Mountain.
There you go. We're lads. It's official. All right. Las Vegas Larry, he's using the ice cold lock on the UNLV. See, that's another a little member emoji right there.
Love it.
Throwing up that lock. Las Vegas Larry, he never disappoints.
Love it.
Okay. Let's go to the Hawaii Bowl. Is it me or you, Steve?
I don't know.
I'll go.
Okay.
It's the Hawaii Bowl, and we've got Hawaii versus Cal. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Hawaii playing in the Hawaii Bowl. They do it a lot, and I get it. It's the Hawaii Bowl. Yeah. But if I'm Hawaii, I kind of I'm used to playing in Hawaii. I would like to go play in someplace else.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? Or do you hey, this is our place. You come and you have to beat us here, damn it.
I kind of like that because they have to travel so much all the time. So probably travel, and they live in paradise. So going to the Boca Raton Bowl, probably, so.
Or the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah.
With the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yes, exactly. Now, if they were to compete for a high tier bowl or something, get into the Holiday Bowl, that'd be cool. Or the Sun Bowl down in El Paso would be awesome. But
or the LA Bowl, which apparently is no more.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be cool. But I like this. They're defending their turf. Cal's got to come out there. Cal ended the season, dropped off. Their coach was fired. Everybody's leaving. They're in turmoil.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Why don't you finish making your pick first? Because I stole it from you.
I got to take Alejado, maybe.
Yeah.
He's just on fire. I mean, you saw what San Diego State did to Cal. Mm-hmm. Hawaii crushed San Diego State. So, I mean, how can you bet against Hawaii in this game with everything that's going on? Like you said, the Cal situation, Hawaii playing in Hawaii, they've got a great offense, yada, yada, yada. I get 1.5 with Hawaii, so give me the daggone 1.5. Hawaii all day, every day.
Okay.
And twice on this game day.
All right. I'm with you on this. The line, I think, is kind of preposterous. That's my new word of the day. I can't believe this line. I think Vegas is looking at this like this is the Cal team that played week 5 or whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
They're held together with tape and bubble gum. So and Hawaii's at home. We've seen the Jekyll and Hyde thing before. They're at home. They're defending their turf. I'm also taking Hawaii to cover the 1.5, and I think they win this game by double digits. I think they just they have fun. They hit passes. This is going to be one of like a celebration to cap the season for Hawaii.
Yeah, unfortunately, Harris, one of the big receivers, and they've got tons of receivers in Hawaii. But Harris, he transferred over, had a huge year. He's going to hit the transfer portal for Hawaii. I'm not surprised. I mean, that kid was awesome this year. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he was given the opportunity. But Hawaii's got plenty of receivers. I mean, losing one guy, not a huge deal. All right, Steve, I'm going to let you go to the Game Above Sports Bowl. Okay. That's one of those ones where it's like, do I have to say this whole damn thing? But I just did.
The Sports Bowl.
There you go, okay. Sports Bowl.
So before I pick that one, I'm going to address one issue quickly because we're trying to keep this going tonight.
You're good.
But JDH talks about Kirk Herbstreit, and last week he said it was weird with no football. Well, and I watched his apology, and I think it was very sincere. And what he said was there was no game day, so it didn't feel like a regular college football game week for him. But he was very aware of an Army Navy, and I'm not a big ESPN fan, but I take Kirk Herbstreit at his word. His apology, I think it was sincere. It was more about like him and his normal game day schedule is what he was talking about. Not that there wasn't any being played. And I've seen and heard him talk about Army Navy over the years. They have done game day there before in the past, and he loves that game. He's always very respectful. That me for the Navy guy, that's what my perspective was on the Army Navy game. I know there was some FCS ball going on as well, and he apologized for that. So I take him at his word. Again, I don't think either one of us are big ESPN fans, but I think that guy, he gets criticized. I think he's an honest person, and I have no reason not to just kind of accept or believe his apology on that and just move on. So that's what I want to say.
I have no opinion, but I'll double down on yours, Steve.
Okay.
Good job.
All right. So the Sports Bowl, Central Michigan versus Northwestern. Northwestern, I think they finished 6-6, playing in the Big Ten this year. they were a scrappy team. I'm sure they would have liked to win more games.
Yeah.
But man, they gave people trouble. They gave Oregon trouble. Oregon, I believe, did not cover against them.
Right.
We talked about that game earlier in the season. They beat Penn State at Penn State. They had a very scrappy season. Central Michigan, they are what they are.
Yep.
I think they got an early win over somebody.
San Jose State.
Yeah, San Jose State.
Which came out to be that, San Jose State just sucked this year.
Well, yeah.
Nothing against Central Michigan, but you're
Exactly.
like, oh, what happened there? Well, we know what happened there.
And the rest of their season, they were kind of up and down. We thought maybe they had a new coach, like, oh, they're going to be good this year.
Right.
Well, they weren't that good. But good enough to qualify for a bowl game. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and take Northwestern to cover the 10.5.
Yeah.
I think 10.5, I was a little surprised at how high it was. I thought it'd be like 8.5, something like that. But I like Northwestern to win by 2 touchdowns at least. I think they're a much better team than Central Michigan. So I'm going with Northwestern. And I'm mainly giving credit to how hard Northwestern has played all season. The work of Dave Braun, who was someone we thought might be on the hot seat. So I'm going with them.
I'm with you. I'm taking Northwestern. I don't love 10.5, but Big Ten team versus a MAC team. I hate to say it. And a Big Ten team that doesn't always get into a bowl game. So this is a bigger thing, I think, for Northwestern than maybe it would be for, like a Michigan or somebody like that.
Yep.
I think I would love to go back and see how they did against the spread this year, because I would bet
as underdog they were pretty good.
Yeah, they beat the spread quite often, I would think, as underdogs, yes. And I think they're a better team than Vegas probably had them as most of the season. And I'm with you. I'm taking Northwestern 10.5, a little higher than I would like it to be, but I think that they're able to win this game fairly easily. All right, Steve, the Rate Bowl. I know we've got some Lobo fans in the house. UNM versus, as you call them, Mini.
Yeah, Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Okay. The line 2.5. I love that this line is close, because I think it should be close.
Yep.
A Big Ten team versus a Mountain West team, frankly, probably the best playing Mountain West team at year end. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, scratch open old wounds here with that. But I love this matchup. When I saw this, I'm like, this is a really great matchup. And I'm anxious for this game. I mean, this is probably, I don't know. I have to think about all the games. This is up there as one of my top games to watch.
100%.
Not a huge bowl guy. You guys know I'm not a power guy.
Yeah.
But this game, I'm really, and I saw a lot of people saying this, so I'm like, whoa, this is a really interesting game. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take UNM plus 2.5. I think it's going to be a close game. Give me the points. The way Jason Eck has this team playing. Mm-hmm. And I think, kind of similar to what you said about UNLV, that they want to, kind of keep rolling into next year. I think the same thing can be said for UNM. I guess you could say that for Minnesota too, right? Like, they had a good year. They want to roll into next season. But I just think there's a lot more momentum reason to play a good game from UNM maybe than there is from Minnesota. So I'm taking the Lobos here, and that's not a homer pick. I really like the way this team has been playing.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best bowl games of the season. When you just talk about the regular bowls, not the playoffs and all that stuff, just the bowls that are traditionally on, I look at this as one of the best scheduled bowls as well. I'm excited for this, and honestly, like I have, we'll say, a soft spot in my heart for both teams,
Yeah.
And I think both teams are, New Mexico had a great season this year. They're looking to build momentum next year. And I think looks like they're probably going to stay pretty much intact.
Yep.
You always lose some players, but similar thing with Mini. I think they have a good young quarterback. I think, they didn't win quite as many games this year as they would have hoped, but they were solid most of the season. Mm-hmm. That one weird loss at Cal early in the season, I think, kind of put a dark spot. They'd love to get that back. But overall, very solid season. And I think there a lot of bowl games, there's a mismatch where one team has quit and doesn't care, and the other wants a good step towards next year. Yeah. This is one where I think they're both, feeling positive about next year. And, very close line, about basically a coin flip, field goal to field goal situation. Yeah. I don't think anybody will be surprised. I end up going with Mini to cover the 2.5, but I would not be surprised to see it go either way.
Okay. Well, got to give a shout out to our man, Wyoming Cowboys. I think it's just Justin, but it says Wyoming Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's just Justin. He says, "Merry Christmas, lads." What do you say? Not picking, but a great show. Go Pokes. Thank you so much, Justin. Always appreciate you joining us. Always appreciate you're so generous super chats. And Merry Christmas to you as well. It's just a wonderful time of year. Time to just kind of settle down. I was saying how busy I was this year or today with work. We're getting ready to go on a mini vacay. Things are just kind of crazy. But being here talking with you, Steve L, this is like, we just got to slow down a little bit.
And we're hanging out with our dwellers.
Hanging out with our dwellers and our wonderful producer, PWB Productions.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if he saw this or not earlier, but we're also hanging out with Josh Allen, the one and only retired jersey in Laramie at War Memorial Stadium.
You got to be somebody special to get your jersey retired by the Cowboys. So.
That's right. Okay. So, again, thank you so much for that super chat. Okay, Steve, I went first. You go first. The First Responders Bowl.
Okay, First Responders Bowl, Florida International versus UTSA. Let's see. I think the line is UTSA minus 8.5.
Yes.
Is that right? I'm taking UTSA to cover the 8.5. I think there was some last minute news we were discussing about their quarterback playing in this game. That was kind of up in the air. Made the line jump. I think UTSA. I think they're a very good, very solid team. They beat what was it? Tulane. They beat late in the season. Yeah. They were right there playing good football this season. Yep. I think they have a good team, a good roster. So I'm taking UTSA to cover the 8.5. Honestly, whatever Vegas said the line was going to be, I was probably going to take UTSA. Just because, again, I think that they're a better team. They have positive momentum going on, and especially if they have their quarterback playing. Yes, I think they're going to win this game handily going away.
As I said, I checked quarterbacks. Yeah. I did check on their quarterback. He is supposed to be playing McCown, and I'm with you. I'm taking UTSA at minus 8.5. I like this team. This was a team I picked to win the conference this year. Yep. Didn't quite go that way for them, but they did have some nice wins, as you mentioned. They beat Tulane, had some losses they probably would love to have back, but it's a team that can score points. They got their quarterback. I don't think FIU can match the talent level that UTSA has. 8.5, again, one of the bigger spreads we've talked about, but this offense, I think, can cover that. So we're in agreement with UTSA.
And they're in the American, correct? UTSA?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. It's kind of ironic because you picked UTSA to win the American, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yep. And I picked Tulane to win the American. Tulane wins the American, but they lose to UTSA late in the season.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. All right. We going on to the next game?
The Military Bowl.
Ooh, I like this one.
Pitt versus East Carolina. Another somewhat large spread, but no quarterback for East Carolina. Hauser is not playing in this game. And because of that, I'm going to take Pitt at minus 9.5. They've had they can put up points. They've had a pretty good year this year, did Pitt.
Yeah.
Kind of came on pretty strong at the end of the year. East Carolina not having their quarterback. If their quarterback was playing, and this was like an even-ish line, like 1.5, 2.5, I would have taken East Carolina. But without their quarterback, I'm going to go Pitt here, minus 9.5.
Yeah, does not surprise me here that you're going that direction. Like you said, Pitt had a good season. I'm going the other way. I've been high on East Carolina all season. I think they have a really good team overall. And I think Pitt probably wins this game, although they have done over the years under what's his name, Narducci. Pat Narducci. They've had a lot of seasons where they played good football. They looked like they were good for a while, and then just crapped the bed late in the season. Whatever. So I'm going with East Carolina. I'm getting 9.5. Right, that's the correct line.
9.5.
So I like them. Just keep it close. It's going to be tough for them to win without their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think they keep it close. They make this like just one of those just kind of down in the mud games. Everyone's struggling, that kind of thing. Maybe cause some turnovers. So I'm taking East Carolina plus the points. They've been good to me all season.
They have.
So yeah, taking them plus 9.5.
That's a team you've talked about quite a bit. We didn't play it this way, Steve, but it works out great because the Pinstripe Bowl is next.
Yeah.
And it's Penn State versus Clemson. Big Mama, listen up.
Well, little birdie told me Big Mama was going to be at this game.
Hey, yo!
So,
Big Mama going to the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah, I thought about going to the game. I tried to get some tickets for Penn State. Wasn't able to get any, and my family all bailed on me. So I'm not going to be there. But Big Mama can give us some live correspondence, maybe tell us how it went.
Awesome.
So yeah, Penn State versus Clemson. Clemson is the 3.5-point favorite. Both of these teams really had some struggles this year. And I think they ended up with very similar records. I think maybe both 6-6, or maybe Clemson was 1-7. I'm not sure.
So they may have been 7-5. Yeah.
But very different. They had bad seasons, but different bad seasons. Penn State had that 3-game losing streak, and then they had to play Indiana and Ohio State and all that. And I think Iowa was their other loss. But after that, it really seemed they pulled it together.
Absolutely.
They got their running game going. They were pounding on people, finished strong to end the season. And I think have positive momentum going into this game. Big Mama's not going to like this, okay? Because I think Clemson is a lot different. Clemson, I wouldn't say they really finished the season strong. They kind of just withered on the vine all season.
Kind of.
We're kind of consistently just not good most of the season. I know Big Mama's looking forward to this game. I hope it's a good game. And I'm not doing this as a homer pick because I've been picking against Penn State for a while until they made that turn. So I'm taking Penn State plus the 3.5. I love getting points with them. Now, one thing is, I don't believe either of the running backs are going to play.
I was going to ask you that.
I don't believe either. They both, I'm pretty sure both of them opted out. And they've had a couple other key players. But Clemson has a ton of people out. Clemson, I think, is going to have more people out than them. And Penn State has some good backup running backs.
Yeah.
They have a good offensive line, and I like the way they're playing. So I'm taking Penn State plus the 3.5. I love to get the points, but I don't think I need them.
I'm surprised that we're getting points with Penn State, and I'm taking them too.
Yeah.
I thought this line actually would be the opposite way, where I'd be giving 3.5, taking Penn State in this game. But I love getting points with Penn State. I mean, their defense is they're just damn good.
Yeah.
They could have guys out, and the second guy is damn good. So I'm going Penn State with you. I was very I had to double take this. Like, wait, Penn State is getting 3.5? I mean, I'm sorry, Big Mama. I'm sorry. But I was very surprised by that.
I think Vegas is they're still shocked by that the collapse of Penn State earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Whereas with Clemson, it wasn't like a shock. It was just kind of like consistently maybe not so great all season. Now, Big Mama does say that Cade Klubnik is playing for Clemson. That's very good for them. Penn State will have Grunk playing, Grunkemeyer. He took over as the starter after Drew Aller went out.
Right.
And there was David Jorgensen says hi and says go PSU.
Yes, I was going to mention DJ's in the house.
Yeah, go Big Red. Nebraska, they're doing a little bit of a rebuild like Michigan State, losing their quarterback.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking about you, DJ. Go Big Red.
All right, next one. The Fenway Bowl, UConn versus Army. And I really wanted to go UConn, but they don't have their quarterback. Was it Fagano? Fagano?
So.
Something like that. And their top receiver, Bell. Both of them are opting out. Army's just a tough game. I mean, they just play a tough game. I don't really like the line giving 9.5 for Army. Yikers. But without, and of course they lost the coach too, right?
Yeah,
UConn. I mean, UConn's in all kinds of turmoil.
Yeah, where's Jim Ward? Is he going to?
He's going to Colorado State.
Colorado State, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Army 9.5. That seems kind of crazy to me. That's a lot of points to give up to when you're taking Army, but I'm doing it. Army minus 9.5.
I got 2 guarantees on this.
Okay.
Army's going to win the game.
Okay.
They're not going to cover.
Okay.
So I'm taking UConn plus the 9.5. I totally understand why you don't love the line.
No.
Because to me, that's how I feel this game is going to go. It's going to be kind of low scoring.
Yeah.
Army's going to win the game, but they're just not going to cover just because of the style. And I think UConn has enough to kind of keep it close and not. So I'm taking.
Now I kind of wonder why I picked them at 9. You're talking me out of my pick, Steve. And you're not really trying.
Right.
that's how uncomfortable I am. All right, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. One of the coolest ones. Yes. We get to see a Pop-Tart strip. I mean, when in the world did you ever think watching a Pop-Tart strip would be so entertaining?
Well, whoever thought you could eat the mascot, Well,
that's true, too. I mean, there's just so many cool things happening. And it's a heck of a game here. I mean, one of the better games. I'm not interested in these teams necessarily, but Georgia Tech versus BYU, holy shnikes, you get to pick first. Okay. I want to know where you're going.
So line is 4.5, correct?
Yeah.
BYU minus 4.5. Yeah, really, really good game. These were two teams that, like, up until maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, had a shot to make the CFP to get into their, really, BYU all the way up to their championship game,
Yeah.
12 championship game.
And even then, some people thought they might be.
It might still be in,
it.
yes. So, two good, solid teams. Georgia Tech, they had some problems as the season went on, especially on defense. Their defense is just not very good.
Yep.
BYU, man, their offense is really good. I love their offense. So I'm going BYU to cover the 4.5. And Georgia Tech is a team I've been a big fan of the last couple years. But I with their defense versus BYU's offense, I think BYU is going to score a ton of points. So I'm taking BYU to cover the 4.5.
I'm with you. I'm BYU 4.5 as well. That Georgia Tech defense, I think, is they're going to struggle. Yeah, they're going to struggle in this game because I love their offense.
Yes.
King, the quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
King,
I love everything about that. But man, if the defense can't stop an offense, Haynes King's not going to score a touchdown on every drive. So, yeah, I mean, BYU at -4.5, I really like that pick. So we're going to agree with that. And I'm going to agree with Rumblings. It just kind of feels like bowl games, he says, are like a farce more now than ever. Half these games are missing their coaches. They're missing their star players. They're definitely not, outside of the CFP. They're not that, like, wow factor where you're getting this great team versus this great team, maybe a good P team versus a good G team, and their starters are playing so you can really see what's going on. It's rare for us to be like, well, yeah, they're all going to be in it. They're all going to be playing.
Right.
Somebody's sitting out, or a coach has already left for crying out loud.
Yes.
So that's tough.
This is going to be a fun game, though. And the thing is we hear people complaining about the bowl games. And even like you and I were like, this is not going to be exciting because people are going to be sitting out or whatever. The crazy thing is they still get amazing ratings. Like people will watch during that time. Like anybody play anybody if it's a bowl game, especially if some people are off work and whatever. They still get amazing ratings, which I find crazy to watch third string versus third string sometimes.
JEH does correct me because there was the almond bowl, the diamond almond bowl, which obviously was an edible situation. The potato bowl is an edible situation.
But did they actually? I
don't know if they actually.
Yeah,
I think they did in the almond bowl.
Maybe.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty sure they don't eat raw potatoes though.
Probably not.
I don't think that happens. All right, we got 2 straight bowls of Mountain West teams. The first one, the Arizona Bowl. That is the gin and juice. I should have had a gin. I got it in my fridgie.
Yeah.
Should have had one sitting here. I could have given a shout out to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Sipping on gin and juice.
But anyway, Arizona Bowl. This is Miami of Ohio versus Fresno State. The quarterback for Miami of Ohio, Finn, will not be playing in this game. I think they're still a really good team. I mean, they've got an overall strong team. He was kind of in and out of the season. I think he went out in November anyway. I don't think he played the last couple games. So that's not maybe a huge situation like you would have with like, Fangano at UConn and stuff like that. So I'm going to take Miami getting 4.5 points here in this game. I think it'll be a close game. I think they match up pretty well. If I can get over that touchdown, I'm going to do it. So Miami plus 4.5.
Yeah, I really struggled with this game because I think both of the Miami really good MAC team this year, played solid, like you said. Fresno kind of surprised me this year in a positive way. I like a lot of the things they did. I think they're kind of building some momentum towards next year. I struggled with this mightily trying to pick this game. So I'm going to go ahead and take Fresno to cover the 4.5. I don't even really know why. It's just more of just a feeling.
Okay.
But I think this will be another kind of it won't get the attention that other bowls do, but I think that it'll be just a good solid. I think it's a good matchup. I think it's two similar level teams.
All right. Well, Sergeant Morhew thinks Fresno wins 24-17. JEH says go Fresno. Hickory Doc says Fresno is his homer pick, so everybody is against me, and that's okay. But Brad also reminds us that there's the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Oh yeah.
That they dump mayo on the daggone.
I don't think he ate it though.
I'm sure some of it gets in his mouth.
Maybe.
I'm going to not go any further than that. All right, New Mexico Bowl. You go first. We
Okay.
liked this when it was announced.
Yes.
North Texas versus San Diego State. I'm anxious to hear which way you're going to go, Steve.
Fantastic matchup. A great offense versus a very, very good to great defense this year. You know, again another game I struggled with, but I trust Texas State's offense. Their offense is fantastic.
Yep.
I trust San Diego State's defense. Just a great defensive performance this year. I don't trust San Diego State's offense really at all. So came down to who I trusted. The line is 3.5. North Texas 3.5 points. I'm taking them. I think they're going to be able to score enough points on San Diego State on that defense. So I went with North Texas to cover the spread.
I agree. 3.5. QB's going to play for North Texas. Obviously, they have the coaching change. This is a broken freaking record saying something about this. But, you know, with their quarterback playing, I love North Texas in this game. You saw that San Diego State had some troubles later on in the season with Hawaii, with New Mexico. North Texas is a very, very good team. And, yeah, at 3.5, I love this line taking North Texas.
Yeah, and I really went down to North Texas's offense. I mean, they're to me at the level they could compete with their offense, compete in the Power Four and do very, very well. So yeah.
All right, we've got the Gator Bowl, Virginia versus Missouri, and your buddy from Penn State, he got injured, right? So he's been out for a little while.
He came back and played the last couple games of the season. He healed faster than he was supposed to.
Okay.
I don't think there's been an announcement because I think he's kind of figuring out what he's going to do. There's potential he could come back to Penn State. There's potential he could go to Virginia Tech, follow Franklin.
Okay.
Or stay there in Missouri another year. And so I don't think it's been fully announced if he's going to play or not. And that's going to make a huge difference.
Yes.
I'm assuming he's going to play and he's going to stay there. So I'm taking Missouri to cover the 6.5. Virginia, I know they almost won the ACC. They kind of led the ACC most of the season. I don't think they're a very good team. I think Missouri is a better team than their record shows. Playing in the SEC is a lot harder than playing in the ACC.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go with Bo Pribula being back and healthy. And he's from the same county as us, just down the road. And so I'm taking Missouri to cover the 6.5 and cover it easily. I think they'll cover it.
So I was picking this thinking he will not be playing.
Okay, all right.
So if he's playing, I completely agree with your pick.
And that's just a guess for me, just to be clear.
My pick is that he's not going to play, and it may not be the end-all, be-all anyway, because I hear you that Missouri's just overall a better team. But I'm going to take UVA plus 6.5. They've had a really nice season. And yes, the ACC is not the SEC, 100%. But again, my pick's based on Bo Pribula not playing.
Yep, and mine's based on him playing.
If he plays, I'm going to lose this, and you go one up on me, in my opinion, no doubt about that. So right now, Steve, we have agreed on 9, and we have disagreed on 8 in terms of the bowls. I'm not talking the CFP. I think we were 2 and 2 in the CFP. So we're pretty even on whether we agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Next, we've got the Texas Bowl, which is LSU versus Houston. LSU just kind of been up and down all season. Houston's had a nice season. They were ranked a few times, I believe.
Yes.
The line only 2.5, and I think Houston wins this game. I'm going to go Houston over LSU. Too many question marks for me on LSU. So Texas Bowl, Houston, minus 2.5.
Louisiana State has as much talent probably as any team in the country. But they've suffered from basically lack of leadership, inconsistent leadership, whatever. And I think that's why they've been up and down. You mentioned how they were up and down.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea who's going to play in this game. You know, it's Lane Kiffin's coming in, taking over from Brian Kelly. Total change in leadership. I don't know who's staying, who's going, or who's going to play in this game, or if you even care about this game.
Right.
Like you said, Houston, a very good season, got ranked a couple times. To me, this is going to come down to. Now I know, like the LSU players, if they want to stay there, they're trying to put on a good show for the new coach coming in.
Yeah.
But I think Houston's just going to have more motivation. For LSU, this is a lost season for them. Houston, they can win. You know, they can end the pretty solid season with a nice win. I think that they're going to be more motivated. And so I'm taking Houston minus 2.5 as well.
Okay.
And honestly, I think they probably win by like a touchdown or more again, just because I think they're going to be so much more motivated in this game.
All right, Steve. Birmingham Bowl, you're up. We've got Georgia Southern and Appalachian State.
Yeah, this was another tough one for me. I've been high on Appy State here for a few years. This year, kind of a down season for them a little bit. So I am going to take Georgia Southern to cover the 6.5. I like Appy State. I want to root for them, but my gut just told me the way Appy State's played this year. I think Georgia Southern. I just think they're the better team. The line 6.5, like that's a pretty big line for a bowl game. But I think Georgia Southern closes it out, and so I'm taking that minus 6.5.
Well, Appy State, they're 5-7. They're one of those teams that they got in because
other people said no.
I'm surprised. I thought you would take Appy State because you just said how much you like them. I thought for sure you were going to take them, but you didn't. And I'm going to agree with you, taking Georgia Southern minus 6.5. Appy State just really struggled this year overall. So I don't like the line. I'm not a huge fan of Georgia Southern blowing out Appy State, but I'll take them at minus 6.5.
This time I had to go with my head instead of my heart.
Okay. Well, good job.
Yeah.
Independence Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus La Tech.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech. The line 9.5. One of the bigger lines that we've talked about. Coastal Carolina, I don't know, not a good team this year. La Tech, maybe a little bit underwhelming from what I thought they might be. Again, a team, I'm pretty sure I picked them to win the conference.
Sun Belt, right?
No.
Conference USA.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take La Tech. Just because I think Coastal Carolina is a hot mess.
Yeah.
Minus 9.5, La Tech.
I don't think either one of these teams is real good. For a lot of reasons that you just said. Yes, Coastal Carolina been bad this year. La Tech been disappointing. I'm not sure of their talent level right now. And so I decided I just was going to take points in this game. So I'm taking Coastal Carolina. 9.5 points. I'll take it. And because I just don't feel good about this game kind of either way. So I decided, you know what? I don't like it, so I'm just taking the points.
Well, a couple stinkers that we've talked about. We got two big ones to finish. We got the Music City Bowl and we got the Alamo Bowl, Steve. So I'll let you go first on the Music City Bowl.
So I actually absolutely love this matchup. I'll be watching it. Illinois, a team that I was high on this year that they once they got their butts kicked by Indiana so badly, it was kind of a little bit downhill. But they did get some other good quality wins. I think they beat USC, if I remember correctly. And overall played a solid season, just not where my expectations were.
Sure.
And Tennessee, they were pretty solid most of the season. It's not easy playing in the SEC. You got to playing Alabama and Georgia and a lot of tough teams. So they fell last year. They were in the CFP. This year they fell, I think, just probably one or two games out of qualifying for the CFP.
Okay.
I think this is a very solid matchup for two teams who could be pretty good in their conferences last year. I'm excited for this game. I'm taking Illinois plus the points. I think they're getting 2.5.
Yep.
I think this is a total coin flip game. Either team could win, so I'm assuming a coin flip, and that's why I'm taking Illinois plus 2.5 points.
We got Altmaier versus Aguilar.
Yeah.
And I'm taking Aguilar, minus 2.5, Tennessee. Illinois just kind of has made me wanting a little more out of them this year. Maybe not, you picked them preseason to like blow past 7.5 wins.
They were like 10.
They were at 8.
10 wins.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
not quite.
Yeah, maybe they won me money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being too hard on them.
Yeah.
But maybe not quite as good as I was kind of hoping and expecting them to be. And Tennessee, I think they're studs. Well, both these teams are studs. But at 2.5, I can't pass up Tennessee. Bill, that college football guy, he's going to like my pick.
Yeah.
So, all right, Steve. Right now we are at 11 agreements, 10 disagreements. We have one pick left. We'll see if it's 11-11. We've got the Alamo Bowl. I think we're going to agree on this one.
Okay.
I think we are. USC versus TCU. I have seen that our boy, Jaden Mayava, is returning back to USC. He's going to play. I like this team. They actually perform. I'm usually down on them. I think they performed for me better than I would have expected them to. I think you would say they performed maybe as good as you had
Right
thought.
there, yeah.
But I like this team. I'm a huge Jaden fan, so I'm taking USC minus 3.5 all day. TCU, they can throw stinkers out, just kind of out of nowhere.
Yes.
So I'm taking USC minus 3.5.
I really like this game. Well, first of all, as a Big Ten person and as a person who's been a fan of Maeva for a while, I am ecstatic to see him coming back another year.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really good for his development going to the NFL. He was very solid this year. Kind of once Big Ten defenses figured him out, they threw some things at him, and he had a couple stumbles, but then finished strong again. And yeah, I had picked them to do well, maybe win 9 games, I think, and just finish 1 game out of qualifying for the CFP, and that's basically what happened. Yeah. They are losing their top wide receiver for the draft. I don't know if he's going to play in this bowl game or not. I'm guessing no, because once you say you're going in the NFL draft, there's nothing. It's not going to help you there. So I'm guessing he'll stay out. But USC has a lot of talent. They're bringing back more talent next year. I love that Jade Maeva is staying there. And honestly, I'm really interested to see USC, instead of just playing all the traditional teams they play all year, in this matchup, getting a TCU team, see how they can do. They may put up a ton of points because those Big 12 defenses. But I'm excited for the game. The line is 3.5. I'm taking USC to cover the 3.5, and honestly, I think they win by double digits. I think this is going to be a great game for them. So I'm really excited to watch this game.
All right. I got some bangers there at the end. I like both of those, the Music City Bowl and the Alamo Bowl. I think both of them could be really fun games. Yeah. And I know you're really interested because it's 2 of the teams in the Big Ten that you were pretty high on this year.
Yep.
And they both had good seasons.
Yeah.
So.
Good,
all right.
not great.
Yeah, so right now, for the picks that we just made in terms of the bowls, 12 agreements, 10 disagreements. I think you're up 1 on me right now.
Yeah.
We've only had a few bowl games actually played. But you had Old Dominion.
Yes.
I had USF. So that's the one disagreement that we've had thus far, and you're up 1 right now.
And watch Old Dominion for next year. Everyone should keep that in mind. They've had a good trajectory here. Watch them for next year. And every year we've done this, we've been really close. And some of these games, we're just picking we're on a whim. Because they're so hard. So fun again this year.
Well, there we go. We're going to come back and have another bowl pick episode in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Again, we're off next week. I'm not going to have a live episode. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, all that stuff. Our producer has put up the holly and the candy canes and the red balls and ribbons and all that stuff. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us again for another live episode. We're going to keep doing the CFP. We'll keep doing the bowls. We wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. Be safe out there. Take some time to just slow down, rest up. Thank you guys for all you do for us here at the Big Mountain. All of our dwellers, we really appreciate you. Smash that like button on the way out, and we'll see you next time on the Big Mountain.
Merry Christmas.